So now we've got this argument between Andrew Johnson and the radical Republicans because Andrew Johnson's the president now. Lincoln's dead. Andrew Johnson's over. Andrew Johnson's a Southerner. He doesn't see things the same way as the radical Republicans. There are times where he was harsh on the South, but for the most part, he was harsh on or towards the elite, the plantation owners, the supposed slave power, which I shouldn't say supposed, there was slave power. It did exist. The elite slave power, plantation owners who pushed for secession, who pushed towards war. He wasn't really interested in being harsh to the citizens that really, yeah, they did fight in the war, but the women, the children, and many of the men, they didn't have political power. They didn't have any say. They didn't own slaves. They weren't part of the slave power. They weren't a part of the ruling class. And so why are we punishing them? If you want to punish people, take away the rights and the freedoms of the elite, the ruling class, the people that pushed for secession, the people that pushed all of these slave power issues that led to secession, and then they also pushed for war. Those are the ones that we should punish, according to Andrew Johnson. So here's the issue. It's going to come down to the president's cabinet. My animations are messed up, so bear with me. Johnson's the vice president. Lincoln's the president. Lincoln dies. That means Johnson takes over. Johnson has a issue with Edward Stanton, the Secretary of War, who is really the boy of the radical Republicans in carrying out Reconstruction policy. As we mentioned before, Johnson doesn't really get along with them. Johnson, although he was harsh towards the plantation owners, wasn't really harsh to the South in general. And so he did not necessarily agree with the radical Republicans' extreme plan for Reconstruction. And Edwin Stanton was the guy leading the Reconstruction. So Johnson's going to fire him. And Johnson, to his credit, or not his credit, but his belief is that, look, you're part of my cabinet. If you can't do your job, you're gone. I didn't pick you to start out with. I was nice enough to allow Lincoln's cabinet to stay on when I took over. You're not doing the job that I don't like, so I'm going to let you go. I don't agree with the way that you and the radical Republicans want to carry out Reconstruction, so I'm going to fire you. Well, they're not happy with that. That's their boy in the executive branch helping to do their bidding. Well, Johnson doesn't care. Like, look, I'm the captain now. I'm the president of the United States. This is my cabinet, not your cabinet. I'm going to fire him because he's not working well with my team. So it's my team. He gone. Well, funny thing is, about 2 days ago, we passed a law that said you can't do that anymore. Interesting. Very funny that you actually did that. That's really great. So they say, look, you're breaking the law. We just said you can't do that, and you did that, so you're impeached. And so he gets impeached. Johnson's like, well, great. You still need 2/3 of a vote in the Senate to fire me. Yeah, I'm impeached. I'll go to trial in the Senate. You're not going to get 2/3. You're just wasting your time. And the Senate's basically like, yeah, you're right. Now, it was really close. One vote short. But still, you're just wasting the people's time. And so Johnson's going to brush off the haters. He's going to remain president. They're going to fight back. And they're basically, because they have a supermajority with their 2/3 votes, can override all of his vetoes. So anytime that Johnson, for the rest of his presidency, tries to get in the way of their Reconstruction plans by the radical Republicans, they're just going to override his vetoes, like when we talk about the Civil Rights Act coming up. So very contentious. Good thing, though, for American citizens and the students and the media today that we learn from this mess, right? We learned today we don't need to repeat this again, right? They knew in 1860 they tried to kick out the president for maybe not the best reasons, but they knew when they impeached him, they weren't really going to get rid of him. And they just wasted the country's time. And so the good thing that we have taught this for years and years and years, and every student and every person in the media today and every politician and every American today knows that, yeah, what a waste. If you can't remove the person, why even bother impeaching? Wait a second. I don't think we did learn that lesson. Well, at least, yeah, that's right, we did. We wasted the country's time with a fake impeachment, didn't we? We could have learned from Johnson. Well, at least we didn't do all this nonsense during the biggest crisis in the last 50. Oh, no, yeah. Yeah, there was a pandemic, wasn't there? It's the worst crisis in 50 years, and we did something that we should have been taught not to do. Well, hopefully with this video, we won't repeat this mistake again. Guess what? You know we will repeat this mistake. We'll probably impeach the president within the next couple days, the way that it's going. We're going to repeat. we're probably going to impeach every president every time moving forward. So get used to that, folks. Reconstruction, the Freedmen's Bureau